I never thought my perfectly manicured lawn would ignite a full-blown suburban war. My name is Daniel, and for 5 years, I've lived in Oakwood Estates. It's a peaceful place, beautiful homes, tidy yards, and unfortunately, the strictest HOA in the entire county. The head of that HOA was Karen Wilkinson, a woman whose entire personality seemed to revolve around enforcing pointless rules and making everyone else miserable. When I first moved in, I genuinely tried to be friendly. I'd wave when she speed walked past my house with her clipboard, hunting for rule breakers. I'd nod politely during meetings where she'd spend an hour debating the correct shade of beige for our houses. I even complimented her garden gnomes, even though I thought they were incredibly tacky. But that fragile piece shattered the day I installed solar panels. She stormed up my driveway one Saturday morning while I was washing my car. Those panels are an eyesore and were never approved by the architectural committee. She shrieked. I stood up, hose still in hand. Actually, Karen, I submitted the paperwork 3 months ago and got approval last month. I have the documents if you'd like to see them. Her face twisted. Well, they reflect too much light onto the road. It's a hazard, she insisted. I took a slow breath, fighting the urge to roll my eyes. They're anti-glare coated and fully compliant with all state, county, and HOA regulations. Her eyes narrowed, scanning my yard like a hawk searching for prey. Then, a smirk spread across her face. Your grass is too tall. Section 7. Paragraph 3 says it can't exceed 2.5 inches. I replied dryly, I mowed yesterday. Would you like to measure it? That moment was the start of a very one-sided war. Over the next few weeks, I received violation notices for the most ridiculous things. My trash can was visible for 15 minutes too long. My flowers were apparently unapproved species. My holiday decorations from 6 months prior were supposedly visible with binoculars from Karen's roof. Each time, I either proved her wrong or fixed the tiny issue. And each time, she grew more furious. She wasn't used to someone who knew the rules as well as she did and followed them better. Most of my neighbors just paid the fines to avoid the conflict. I was starting to see how Karen funded all her Boca Raton vacations. Things really escalated when I decided to run for an open HOA board seat. I thought I could bring a little sanity to the system. Karen cornered me at the mailbox. I heard you're running, she said, her smile looking painfully forced. How? Ambitious. I just replied, trying to help the community. She leaned in, her voice sweet but her eyes ice cold. Daniel, don't do this. Our board works just fine without outsiders disrupting things. I told her that healthy discussion is a good thing and that the best candidate should win. Her eyes hardened. After that, the smear campaign began. Anonymous letters appeared in mailboxes. Rumors spread about my job. Whispers that I'd been fired or was running something illegal from my house. I ignored it all and stuck to my platform of fairness and transparency. And it was working. People liked what I had to say. I could see Karen losing her grip. Then, 3 days before the election, things took a dangerous turn. I came home from the grocery store to find a utility truck in my driveway. A worker was at the side of my house. Can I help you? I asked. He checked his clipboard. We got a report of a gas leak from someone named Karen Wilkinson. I froze. I never requested an inspection. We walked over to the gas meter, and what we saw made the technician's eyes go wide. The seal had been tampered with. There were fresh scratches all around the connection. Sir, he asked, looking alarmed, did you try to work on this line recently? Absolutely not, I said firmly. I would never touch the gas lines. That's incredibly dangerous. The technician nodded gravely. Well, someone did. These marks are fresh, and the valve has been partially loosened. It's not leaking much now. But this could have become very serious. A thought hit me like a lightning bolt. My security cameras. I have footage, I said, pulling out my phone. We went inside, and I pulled up the security app on my TV. As I rewound the footage, we both stared in stunned silence. There she was, Karen, clear as day, She walked up to my house, glanced around furtively, then crouched by the gas meter. We watched as she tampered with the valve for several minutes before hurrying away. The technician's face went pale. "Sir, this is extremely serious. She could have caused an explosion that would have affected the entire block." A chill ran down my spine. "I'm calling 911. Within an hour, my quiet street was filled with police cars and a fire truck. I handed over the footage. The officers watched it, their jaws tight with disbelief. This wasn't just an HOA dispute anymore. It was a serious crime. The suburban warfare had gone way too far, and now, everyone would finally see Karen for who she really was. Thanks for watching, and remember to subscribe for more stories. This isn't an HOA dispute anymore. This is felony-level tampering and public endangerment. That's what one officer told me before they went straight to Karen's house. 2 hours later, I watched from my window as the police escorted Karen out in handcuffs. Her face was twisted with pure outrage as she screamed, "This is ridiculous. I was doing a safety inspection. As HOA president, I have every right." The officers didn't even react as they placed her in the back of the cruiser. It was surreal. The very next day, the story exploded all over the local news. Karen was officially charged with criminal tampering with a utility meter, reckless endangerment, trespassing, and attempted property damage. Her bail was set at a whopping $50,000. That evening, the HOA held an emergency meeting. Let me tell you, it was the most crowded gathering I had ever seen in our community. Every single seat was taken, and people were literally lining the walls, all waiting to see what would happen next. The vice president, who looked completely shaken, stood up and announced, "In light of recent events, we will be holding a vote to remove Karen Wilkinson from her position as HOA president." The vote was unanimous. Every hand went up, and what happened next shocked me even more. The vote to elect me to her now empty seat was also unanimous. Just as the meeting was ending, my phone buzzed. It was a news alert. Karen's employer, a local real estate agency, had fired her. They cited their zero-tolerance policy for criminal behavior. The consequences were piling up fast. As I stepped outside, a group of neighbors approached me. An elderly woman handed me a beautiful gift basket. She said, "We took up a collection for your legal expenses. We were all afraid of her for years. Thank you so much for finally standing up." I was so touched, I could barely get my words out. I thanked them, still trying to process the absolute whirlwind of the past couple of days. While I was walking home, my phone rang. It was my attorney. "Karen's been released on bail," she said. My heart sank for a second, but then she continued, "But don't worry, the judge issued a restraining order. She's not allowed within 100 feet of you or your property." Before I could even respond, a luxury SUV screeched to a halt right beside me. The window rolled down, and there she was, Karen. Her face was red, her eyes burning with fury. "You think you've won," she snarled. "Do you have any idea what you've done? I've lost everything because of you: my job, my position, my reputation." Her rant was suddenly cut short as a nearby police cruiser flashed its lights and pulled up right behind her. An officer calmly stepped out. "Ma'am, please step out of the vehicle." Karen just stared in horror. "But I just got out. It's been less than an hour. And you've already violated your restraining order," the officer said coolly. "Step out of the vehicle now." As they handcuffed her for the second time in less than 24 hours, her shrill wails echoed through the entire neighborhood. "This isn't fair. I made the rules. I built this community," she screamed. The next morning, I got the final update. Her bail had been revoked. She would remain in custody until her trial. The prosecutor estimated she was facing up to 5 years in prison and over $100,000 in fines. When Karen heard this news in court, she fainted on the spot, collapsing like a puppet whose strings had been cut. The bailiffs had to carry her out as the judge's gavel came down. Justice, finally, had been served. The reign of the HOA Karen was officially over. Thanks for watching this crazy story unfold with me. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to like this video and hit that subscribe button. See you in the next one.